What's up, everybody? In this video I'm comparing the Samsung Galaxy A12 with the Samsung Galaxy A02s. Both of these are budget-friendly devices with a very budget price. Let's go ahead and take a look. So these two Samsung phones are going to give you great value at a very low price. You're more than likely going to find these in the prepaid market. You can get these phones unlocked as well. You can get them from Amazon, but the prices vary, but you could definitely get them unlocked from Amazon with probably a little bit better specs for less than 150 bucks. If you go on prepaid, you can find them anywhere from free all the way to like 60 bucks on Boost, 100 on Cricket, but so on and so forth. So just double check. Depending where you go, you're going to get different prices, but for the most part, these are budget-friendly devices, but they offer a lot of value, so let's get into it. So both of these devices are LTE. They don't have 5G, but that's okay. Most of apps and video streaming services and pretty much all the things that you do still in 2021 are still perfectly okay over LTE, especially at this price point. Both of these phones were launched in around the late 2020, early 2021. The A12 and the A02s both have almost the exact same dimensions. They look almost exactly the same from the front. The back, the cameras are a little bit different, but they are generally 6.4 inches tall, 3 inches wide, 0.35 inches thick. The A12 weighs a little bit more, 7.2 ounces versus the 6.9 ounces on the A02s. Both of them have a glass front, plastic back, plastic frame. So these are plastic devices. They aren't premium by any stretch of the imagination. For the display, they are both PLS IPS displays, 6.5 inches, and they both have 720p display. So they're on the lower end of resolution. PPI is 270, which is, on the lower end, but at this price point, what are you gonna do? Both of them have similar screen to body ratio at 82%. For the software, they both launched with Android 10, but they upgraded to Android 11, which is really good to see on more budget devices. Samsung is making it a thing to update a lot of their devices, even on the lower end. So that's good to see, because Android 11 right now is the most up to date. And who knows, you might get even more updates, which would be awesome. They both run Samsung One UI, which is good. It's the same software that's on the more expensive Galaxy S21s and Notes. So that's the one good thing about Samsung devices at all price ranges. The software is generally going to feel the same across all price points. And they all have a lot of features, you can customize pretty much everything on it, which is a good feel. If you don't like stock Android, this will give you a lot to play with. The chipsets do differ on these devices. You got a MediaTek on the A12, you have a Snapdragon 450 on the A02s. Both of them should run similarly. They're more lower end processors, but for 99% of people out there, especially in the prepaid market, if you just want a phone and to use regular everyday apps, watch YouTube, send videos, look at social media, play a few games here and there, productivity apps, stuff like that will definitely get the job done from both of these. They're not the speediest devices, but they'll get the job done, especially at the price point. That's a good thing. Even the budget phones nowadays are really good at everyday tasks. For the internal storage, on prepaid, from what I've seen, is that they're generally going to be 32 gigabytes of internal storage and probably going to be 2 gigabytes for RAM. But pay attention, because they sell different ones for prepaid. If you get the unlocked model, sometimes you can get it for 64 gigs of internal storage and like 3 or 4 gigs of RAM for each of these. So just be careful. They both do have a micro SD card slot, which is awesome. So you could expand the storage, greatly and cheaply, something that the flagships don't have anymore. So it makes these very appealing devices at a lower price point. For the camera, the A12 has 4 camera setup, 48 megapixel main, 5 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro, 2 megapixel depth. A02s, triple camera, 13 megapixel main, 2 megapixel macro, 2 megapixel depth, both shoot in 1080p video. These aren't going to be the best cameras, but you'll be satisfied for the most part in the right lighting if you're outside. As long as you don't expect $1,000 flagship phone quality. You'll be very happy with these. Upload video or picture to social media, or send a quick video or picture to your friend in a message or something like that. You'll be totally satisfied with these phones. Like, again, budget phones are stepping up their game. They're very, very good, even at low price points, not like back in the day. Selfie camera, 8 megapixel on the A12, 5 megapixel on the A02s. And they should shoot at 1080p video. Both phones have a headphone jack, which is awesome. You can connect your headphones, your mic, or connect it to your car via aux cord to listen to music, for example, so that's awesome. For Bluetooth, both of these will connect fine to most of your Bluetooth devices. You got Bluetooth 5.0 on the A12, Bluetooth 4.2 on the A02s. They'll generally connect fine with your smart wearables, such as your smartwatch, your smart band, your wireless headphones, wireless speakers, for example. You're probably not going to find NFC on these phones. Definitely not on the A02s, but on the A12, depending on your market. But generally, if you're going to get it on prepaid, it's probably not going to have it. They will have USB Type-C, which is great. It's the same port found on Android phones and laptops and tablets and stuff like that, and even iPads. And for battery, that's the best part about both of these devices, especially at this price point. 5,000 milliamp battery is huge. It'll last you 2 days easily. That's one of the best things about these phones. That battery life will not be a problem. And these both offer fast charging, although it's only at 15 watts, but that's a bonus. So both of these are really, really good on battery. It's even more impressive than flagships that have lower milliamp batteries that cost way more. So what are my impressions on these devices going head to head? Well, these are very similar devices. I guess what it comes down to is when you're looking for these devices, I guess what price are you gonna find them at when you go to, buy them at a prepaid spot, for example? Because if you get them unlocked, you're generally gonna get better specs. Overall, the general better phone is going to be the A12 because it's gonna have more RAM off the bat. The A02s, it's supposed to be more lower end than the A12. You can tell by the number name and stuff. So the A02s, then comes the A12, then you get the A32, 42, 52, and so on and so forth. But these are pretty much almost the same. They both have several cameras in the back. They both have the same size screen, same overall dimensions. They got SD card support, headphone jack, the big battery. Where they differ a little bit is probably going to be in the processor, but they're not going to be speedy regardless, but they'll get the job done pretty much for everybody that's just looking to use a phone for a long time and not willing to spend, or not trying to spend, a lot of money. But overall, these are good devices if you can get them for a low price. I mean, you get them as low as free or $60 on Boost. Take advantage of those deals. I probably wouldn't recommend getting these unlocked. You can get better devices with better specs at the same unlocked price as these. These aren't 5G devices, but like I said, LTE is still good for most apps out there watching video, sending and listening to music and sending messages and big files. It should be no problem on both of these devices. The battery life is just super awesome. So that's been my comparison and review of the Galaxy A12 and the A02s. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.